Long time coming, but finally, some closure for Gilmartin, his family, and the Scranton community. More than 2 years after being shot in the head while on duty responding to a string of shootings, Detective Kyle Gilmartin faced his attackers in court. 22-year-old Aiden Deininger was sentenced to 25 to 83 years in prison, plus 8 years of probation for pulling the trigger that night. His co-defendant, 21-year-old Jeremiah Cleveland, received 20 to 43 years.
We are happy with the sentence imposed. We're grateful that the court removed these individuals for as long as they did, but the reality is that no sentence, no matter how long, would have been good enough.
Videos from Cleveland's live stream that night captured the events leading up to the shooting. They showed him firing at 2 separate Scranton homes while bragging and laughing. His gang ties and the videos played a major role in the judge's sentence. Gilmartin and his family addressed the pair in court. He called out the, quote, stupidity of their actions and said he is praying for them.
It takes a lot to get up there and say, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for the 2 guys, the one guy that shot you in the head twice.
Those involved in the case say they're glad it's over, but Gallagher says he believes a life sentence should have been considered. Pennsylvania law, however, limits a judge's ability to impose life in cases of attempted murder.
7 years at minimum for someone who shoots a cop in the head. That's asinine, and that doesn't reflect the values of our community here in Lackawanna County, and I can tell you that. It doesn't reflect the values of law enforcement.
Gilmartin is still recovering, but Gallagher says he and his family are doing well and commended them for courageously confronting the 2 who caused so much harm.
They're doing well. They're great people. The bravery it takes to get up and talk about your feelings and the emotions and what happened that night, the most horrific night of their life, is extremely difficult. Gallagher
says he is now urging the PA General Assembly to strengthen laws protecting officers following that hearing. In Scranton, Avery Nape, 2822 News.
New information tonight about a police presence we first brought to you last night in Sugarloaf Township. State police now confirming that a traffic stop turned into a police shooting on West County Road. Investigators say a driver refused to stop for about 2 miles, then got out of his car with a long gun and fired at a Sugarloaf Township police officer. The officer shot back, killing the 66-year-old driver. State police say the officer was not hurt.
After months of delays, the 5 suspects charged for the torture and murder of a Michigan woman in Wilkes-Barre appeared in court this morning. One of the 5, Sarai Doyle, pleaded guilty. All 5 are charged with the death of Nicole Cuevas, while Doyle and Desiree Lynette are also charged in the death of Deborah Fox. The other 4 suspects charged have been given 30 days for plea negotiations and a 60-day deadline. The district attorney, Sam Sanguidolce, says that they have not made a final decision yet on whether to seek capital punishment. Several local animal rescues are lending a hand after several cats died in a fire in Luzerne County last week.
Yeah, that fire killed a woman and dozens of cats in Edwardsville. Several local fire and emergency crews responded along with an area animal rescue. Now, the Luzerne County Animal Response Team says 4 cats had to be transported from the scene on Friday. 3 living, 1 dead. But since then, 20 dead cats have been removed out of the house. Now crews are trying to manage the feral cats the woman used to feed. The Edwardsville Fire Department says there is no determined cause of that fire yet, but it is being ruled accidental. What a beautiful day to be outside, but hey, don't get too used to it just yet.
The Future Alert meteorologist Matthew Howard joins us now.
Hi Candace, hi Nick. And it's still February, but we had a nice day today. We had no rain, we had some clouds this morning. And we had some sunshine this afternoon. That allowed those temperatures to rise into the 40s, some of us even hitting the 50-degree mark. As we take a look here in downtown Wilkes-Barre, we still have those clear skies, hanging on to those. Temperatures right now into the low 40s. Those winds blowing out of the southwest bring in some warmer air across our neck of the woods. I have 37 degrees in Mount Pocono, 43 in Tunkhannock, 40 degrees in Lewisburg. And we're going to see an increase in those clouds as we head throughout the night. Fairly quiet across our neck of the woods right now, but we are tracking our next system that's out in the Midwest. It's going to build and develop, bring in some rain as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours. I'll time out that rain, and if you see any chances of snow in your full forecast in a few.
Okay, thanks, Matthew. A rail line connecting Scranton to New York City is moving closer to reality.
A virtual hearing is scheduled for this Thursday to try to gather some community feedback on the proposed project. That project has state and federal funding. The current plan estimates that the railroad would cost just under $5.5 million. The president of Pennsylvania's Northeast Railroad Authority says Amtrak estimates that the proposed rail line could generate about $84 million. 1970 was the last year a passenger ride went from from Scranton to New York City.
We've been at this for a long term, so the point that we're optimistic now is we have something that we never had.
And if you're interested, you can find the link to sign up for the virtual meeting on our website, 2822news.com.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson has passed away.
Jackson was a charismatic civil rights leader who became closely associated with Martin Luther King Jr. He continued his activism later on in life. Jackson was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2017. He died today at the age of 84. That Jackson, you might remember, did run for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1984 and again in 1988.
The campaign brought him to central Pennsylvania for a speech before striking workers at International Paper Company in 1987. Former WBRE reporter Rick Mason covered the campaign stop in this story from the 2822 News archives.
From his first moment before the crowd, there's no doubt the Reverend Jesse Jackson has support in this town. He's here on the invitation of the union that's been in a labor dispute with International Paper Company for 5 months. He told them the greatest challenge today is for a workers' bill of rights.
Today we need to fight for workers' rights. If you have the right to strike, which is an American right, that right is the whole of a donut unless you who strike have the right to go back to your job when the strike is over.
Jackson is trying to raise his popularity by speaking to the voters more on issues of economic violence and less on those of racial injustice. He brought a dozen messages with him, all on the same thing: give labor its share. His warning to replacement workers:
you take some of this $10 an hour job for $8. There's a $6 crowd waiting for you.
His message to management at International Paper: share the profits and
be fair. Just be fair. Just be fair.
He's the front runner in the polls with the highest name recognition. Ironically, political observers say he's the only candidate widely considered unelectable. He disagrees.
In a democracy, Ronald Reagan is not king, and I don't have to be prince to win.
Just before leaving, he made this union town a big campaign promise.
I want to help you get your job, and you help me get my job, and you get your house, I get the White House, and together we will rise. We'll rise.
Rick Mason, Eyewitness News, Lock Haven.
And still to come on this Tuesday edition of News at 7 on WIOU. Interested in a remote job? We'll tell you what one Pennsylvania woman learned when she signed up for work and ended up as part of a con.
And later, the Big Easy's in party mode. We'll check in on the celebration on Bourbon Street as Mardi Gras slowly comes to an end. Topping business and consumer news tonight, Americans are getting more back in their tax returns this year. The latest figures from the IRS show that the average tax refund is just over $2,200, up nearly 11% from last year's average. Experts say the bump is due to benefits from the GOP's One Big Beautiful Bill, with the biggest increases likely to go to the top 10% of earners. The deadline to file is April 15th, unless the taxpayer requests an extension. On Wall Street today, the Dow is up 32, NASDAQ gained 31, and the S&P 500 is up 7. Spirit Airlines has reached a deal to sell 20 of its planes. The company says selling the aircrafts will improve its financial situation and adds most of the 20 planes are not currently in service. Spirit says the funds from the likely multi-million-dollar sale will go toward paying off debts and contributing to lower operational costs.
Remote job scams are on the rise now, with con artists luring victims with promises of easy cash for simple tasks. One woman found out the hard way after accepting a part-time remote gig to approve pre-written positive hotel reviews for a commission. To get started, the Pennsylvania retiree from Reading would first have to deposit $100 of her own money, with larger deposits later requested for bigger commissions. So in just a matter of days, she says that she handed over more than $221,000 of her life savings to a fake company.
I go to cash out and they tell me that because I'm a level 1, that a level 1 person can only withdraw so much money. So I had to be bumped up to another level, which cost money.
She says she reported the scam to the police and the FBI, but investigators say it's highly unlikely she'll ever get her money back. The Federal Trade Commission warns job seekers to never pay somebody to get paid or to get a job. Future Alert meteorologist Matthew Howard's up next with the forecast. But as we head to break on this Tuesday, if you like snow, check this out. According to the Mammoth Lakes, California Tourism Office, more than 2 feet of snow has fallen around Mammoth Lakes in just the past 24 hours.
Welcome back, everyone. On this Tuesday evening, we saw a nice day today. We saw temperatures in the 40s to near 50, but we do have some active weather that we are keeping in track in your forecast. As we take a look here in Pottsville, you can see we have some clearer skies across the region right now, but that's going to change as we head toward the overnight hours. We are at a temperature of 36 degrees at the Schuylkill County Airport. Those winds blowing out of the west and southwest bring in some warmer air. As we take a look at our temperatures right now, much of us still even above 40, 41 in Milford, 42 at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport, 36 in Williamsport, so above average for this time of year. And we do have some fog alerts actually in effect for some areas in the Poconos and the Lehigh Valley. Some areas could be seeing some patchy fog as we go towards the overnight. Just keeping that into mind. Probably won't be as bad as last night, but still going to be seeing that patchy fog. Fairly quiet across our neck of the woods right now, but we are tracking a system that's moving pretty fast over the Midwest. This is going to build and develop and set our stage for some rainy weather as we go towards tomorrow. And we're going to start off the morning fairly warm into the 30s, and then we're going to be into the low and middle 40s as we go towards the afternoon, seeing some on and off periods of rain showers. And we'll time it out for you. For tonight, we're going to be quiet most of the night, mostly cloudy, and then as we get towards later in the night, we could start seeing a slight chance of a shower, but I think most of this is going to wait until around the morning commute. We can be seeing some light to moderate rain. Then we kind of get a break for a few hours until we get more of a moderate, maybe even some steady rain at times as we get towards that middle of the afternoon. And then this is going to move out of here as we get towards Wednesday evening, just leaving us maybe just with some drizzle. And then as we go towards Thursday, we're going to have a lot of cloud cover out ahead of our next system. This is going to bring in some rain, even a wintry mix is for some of our elevations in the Poconos in the northeastern part of the state. And then as we get to and continue through your Friday, we can still be seeing that and some slightly warmer air move in, especially for our valleys, changing us all to rain. So what really to expect are elevations could say a wintry mix, seeing some possible sleet and freezing rain. Valleys are going to be seeing maybe some sleet and freezing rain and some rain mix as well. In central Pennsylvania, seeing mainly rain. We could be seeing some minor ice accumulation out of that as well. Lows tonight will be into the middle 30s with a few showers late, maybe an isolated freezing rain. And then for tomorrow, your highs are going to be into the low and middle 40s, mainly cloudy with periods of rain. Thursday, we're going to be mostly cloudy and dry. Friday, we are tracking that storm bring in rain, maybe even a mix as well. And then first half of the weekend, we're looking good. And then as we go towards Sunday, we are tracking another storm. This could bring in a little bit of snow, but we are still a little bit far away from it, so we're going to be keeping that in track. And then colder as we get towards Monday and Tuesday. Remember, it's still February. It can still get cold despite even having a little bit of warmth into the 40s this week. It did feel quite nice, though.
Oh, today was amazing. Finally saw the grass in my front yard. First time in about a month and a half.
It was beautiful.
And I was around the highway, saw some grass as well.
Amazing.
Thanks, Matthew. After a brutally cold winter, some of us are dreaming, of course, of spring and summer.
Yeah, sure sign that warmer days are ahead is trout stocking at the local streams and lakes. Today, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, along with volunteers, stocked Francis Slocum State Park, Kingston Township. More than 3 million trout will be placed in the streams and lakes across the Commonwealth. All right, as we head to break tonight, the NYPD releasing body cam videos of officers who were rescuing an injured bald eagle floating on a sheet of ice in the Hudson River. The officers acted quickly and they brought the bird to safety. They wrote on X, quote, "Eagle-eyed cops to the rescue." Now, here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Here's what's making news across the nation and around the globe tonight. Still no end in sight for that partial government shutdown over Department of Homeland Security funding.
Senate Democrats have sent their latest proposal to the White House in an effort to end the stalemate. The White House says the two sides are still far apart as Democrats demand changes to how ICE and the Border Patrol carry out actions. So far, the shutdown is not impacting most Americans. TSA agents have not yet missed any paychecks. Investigators are now focusing on DNA in connection with the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, the Sheriff's Department there told CBS News that a DNA profile recovered from gloves near the house did not match any of the DNA profiles that are already in the FBI's national database. The family, though, has been cleared by police in this case. Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have repeatedly posted messages on social media hoping for a break in the case.
Emergency responders are looking into a church explosion in Boonville, New York.
Those on the scene there say there was a strong gas odor followed by an explosion at the Abundant Life Church. Five firefighters were injured. 2 are in critical condition. According to reports, they were in the basement looking for the source when the furnace activated and triggered the explosion. A proposed bill in Colorado now would decriminalize prostitution in that state.
The Democrat-sponsored bill would make it legal both to buy or sell sex between consenting adults. Pimping would still be illegal. The goal is to create a safer environment for sex workers and bring in more money for the state. Colorado Republicans strongly oppose the bill. If passed, it would take effect on July 1st. And in our Instapoll question today, we asked, would you support legalizing prostitution if it was being considered in PA? Here's a look at the voting.
So far, most of you who've checked in say no. Plenty of time to get on the Instapoll. You can scan the QR code on your screen, go to 2822news.com or the drop-down menu on the app.
Rescue teams train for all types of emergencies, but this one in Erie last night was different.
Yeah, the crews were called out to a frozen lake rescue for a horse named Ernie. The 22-year-old escaped from his home, walked into a frozen lake and fell right through. Now, the rescue got a little complicated because they got Ernie out and then Ernie fell back onto the ice. Good news is we're told he's okay tonight. He's warming up and eating lots of hay. You go, Ernie.
He earned it.
Yeah. All right, let's take a live look now at Bourbon Street. Of course, this is New Orleans, Mardi Gras, 68 degrees. Yeah, I guess they got a couple folks out there tonight.
Just a little busy.
Just a little bit. It is very packed and very busy, very warm there, but we were warm here as well. Not as warm as New Orleans, but we did see temperatures into the 40s, and we'll be in the 40s again tomorrow with some rain. Dry on Thursday. We're seeing a rain-wintry mix Friday. First half of the weekend looking dry before then colder as we get towards Monday and Tuesday, guys. So it's still February. We still have a little time of winter.
Oh, yeah. We should be used to that by now, but these temperatures are feeling quite nice.
Yes, they are feeling quite nice. 50 degrees today. Felt very nice.
It did. Thank you, Matthew. Hey, before we go, it is Fat Tuesday, and on the Gulf Coast, millions of Americans from Alabama to Louisiana are celebrating Mardi Gras.
And the party is still going strong on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, as we just saw. Now there are parades, elaborate costumes, young and the young at heart, all having a great time. Of course, there's plenty of beads to be thrown and caught. Of course, I'm not going to show you that on. This is a family-friendly show. And then at midnight, guess what? The party is over, and it's 40 days of Lent beginning. And then there's, of course, there's a huge cleanup. We'll show you that tomorrow. I always feel bad for those guys because they're going to clean up all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. You could write a book, I'm sure. The stuff you find left over.
You won't believe what I found tonight.
Big cleanup, but what a big celebration.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
See you back here at 11. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. It's another edition of 5 to Live By on